Good evening, dear Toastmasters, friends, and guests. Welcome to Toastmasters, the world's biggest platform for communication and leadership. We are District 31, and I welcome you to Open Heart with District 31. Tonight, we have a special guest, a Toastmaster who I call a statesman for Toastmasters, twice district director, and a candidate for Vice President Select Second for International Director. A Toastmaster who is always ready to help anyone who needs his assistance. Without any further ado, let me welcome my dear friend. I cannot call him a friend, he's my role model, someone who I look upon at some day in my life. I would want to be this wonderful Toastmaster. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Stefano McGhee to our talk show. Toastmaster Stefano, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Toastmaster Suram. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Thanks a lot for being on our talk show. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to come down and talk to us. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate that.
Toastmaster Stefano, I ask all my guests this first question is, how did your Toastmasters journey start? Where did it start? How did it start? Why did it start?
Where did it start? It started right here where I am now, in Weymouth, Massachusetts. It started because my wife is a member of Network Voice Toastmasters, and she had been for 5 years. And every so often they would have a guest night where they would pressure the members to bring in a guest. And while she tried to bring in lots of different guests, when she came up short, she found me. So I started to go to Network Voice Toastmasters. I came as a guest, and then I didn't come again. And then she needed another guest a few times later. I came again. I was a guest for Network Voice Toastmasters for almost a year before I joined. But eventually I got interested. It was fun to go to Toastmasters, and I enjoyed the time that I spent there. So I stayed. So that's how I came to join Toastmasters.
Wonderful, Toastmaster Stefano. And thanks a lot for sharing that. Would you like to tell us the impact of Toastmasters on your personal life, professional life, social life, and spiritual life?
For me, the biggest impact has been confidence. It's been the confidence to understand how people work, how to motivate people. It's the confidence to believe that people are good, that they mean well. You just need to help them figure out what the right things are to do because they mean well. For my professional career, it's been very useful. It's helped me rise to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in the Air Force, which I retired from just a couple of years ago. But I credit Toastmasters to be able to be comfortable speaking in front of very high-ranking people, and maybe even telling just a subtle joke here or there, just to keep them awake and moving around the room, all the things that Toastmasters taught me. And for my social life, it's really been a fun way to get to meet people. I've learned to meet people that are into wine, meet people that are into motorcycling, people that I would have never met before. And the travel has been pretty cool to go to visit conventions or even just the conference in District 31 to meet people I would not have had a chance to meet ordinarily. So that's what it's really done for me, is that confidence in myself and actually building my confidence in my fellow human beings. That's what it's done for me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stefano. Right now, where are you involved, Toastmaster Stefano? We knew you were as a powerful, fearless leader of District 31, but what are you doing right now, and what do you aspire to do in Toastmasters?
One of the things that Toastmasters got me very, I would say, hooked on is ever since I was a club president, it was this desire to be able to do good for my fellow members. And that's what kept me going through the various roles of Toastmasters. Some people say, oh, it's a great opportunity. It's a lot of notoriety to be a Toastmaster leader. I said, but it's really about making a great experience for our fellow members, making great contests, making great conferences, making great club experiences is what keeps me going. And after serving for 2 years on the International Board of Directors, now for second vice president, is trying to do great things for members all over the world to let them know that they're supported from the very top. And I think that's what I bring to the table as a Toastmasters leader, which started right here in District 31.
We are so privileged and so happy that one of ours is in the international. Toastmaster Stefano, what may be the two challenges do you think Toastmasters across the world or in District 31 is facing right now?
A couple of challenges is I think that over the last 10 years or so, the world has changed such that the things that Toastmasters offers are not what people are asking for anymore. Over the last few years, especially over the course of the pandemic, members, or not members, but would-be members of Toastmasters have gone and found that they can get public speaking skills in other places and not have to see anyone, which is kind of crazy. But I think that what we're on the verge of doing is changing and adapting to meet those changes so that we give people what they want. Because Toastmasters is about being flexible, especially at the district level, and saying, what do our members want? Let's provide that. Just making that decision changes how we operate and can make us successful. Is let's think about what our members want as opposed to what we have to offer.
Pretty amazing. Toastmaster Stefano, would you recommend surveying the members of what they want, or how does a district come to know the pulse of the members? It's really hard to sometimes catch the pulse. What do they really want? How to go about that?
It's amazing that Toastmasters today, you may send them a survey, and just like anywhere else, you will get a few percentage of surveys back. As much as you want to learn about what they have to say, they make it, just like all other human beings, they make it hard to get at. But chances are, if you ask them in person, they will tell you what they think about the program. If you ask them about pathways, if you ask them about better club officer training in person, on a call like this even, they will tell you. So getting the pulse of the organization, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on the way you want to look at it, really means doing the hard work of sitting down and talking to as many people as possible. We can all do it together. It doesn't have to be Toastmaster Shriram doing it or Toastmaster McGhee. It should be all of us listening to those of us, our club members, our other fellow area directors and division directors, and listening to what they hear, because that's how you can put together a good sound and understand what we need to do to make sure that we meet the needs of our members. It is really to ask and to listen.
Thank you to you, Toastmaster Stefano. That was such nicely put. And your articulation is something which I'm a really big fan of. Thanks a lot for answering that really well. Toastmaster Stefano, now this is where we ask for an appeal. Why should someone join Toastmasters in your view? What are the 2 things or 3 things? Why should someone join Toastmasters? For the guests who are watching this show, why should they join Toastmasters?
The number one reason is confidence. The confidence to perhaps be out of college and be at your first job and ask for a standing desk at your place of work. How do I ask for that? How do I have the courage to ask? It seems like a simple question, but when you go to ask it, it seems very scary. The confidence to ask a reasonable question, or to ask for perhaps a stipend so that you can get a standing desk at home. The courage to ask the questions, the confidence to do so, but also the leadership side of things. The leadership side to help you understand yourself as a leader and help you build out the skills that you might not have. Let's not talk about budgets and organizing and submitting the right paperwork, and instead talk about, when you're a successful leader, how good you make other people feel, about the good that you can do in the world by being successful at being a leader, by having a great contest, by having a great district conference that people walk away from and say, I felt good being there. Those things don't just happen. They require leadership, and it makes you feel good. So what can a new member get out of it? It's confidence in their speaking, but the leadership skills to be successful, not just in Toastmasters, but to take those exact same skills and bring them to the workplace. They will be a leader that is above the other ones because they understand people and what motivates them. That's what Toastmasters will give you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stefano. There's a sense of confidence. There's a sense of sophistication in your delivery. did you learn this from Toastmasters, or did you make a conscious effort? Because when you speak, it's like a statesman speaking. It's like past President Obama speaking. What is it? We want to learn the statesmanship that you bring to the table. What is it, Toastmaster Stefano? What is the secret?
The secret is the same thing that I tell members that are giving their speech for the first time about why their icebreaker is the first speech and not another speech, because they know the content and they can be confident about what they're saying. The most important thing that you can learn about what you're speaking about is to be confident. The second is to not just believe it. When you're confident, you believe it here, but you must also believe it here. And that comes with practice, and that comes with making sure that you're speaking about not how the best way to apply paint on a wall, which some people are very passionate about, and they're very good at it. I can't speak confidently about that, but speaking about what I think is the best thing for our organization, the best way to move us forward, the best way to make people feel good about themselves, you have to believe in our program. And I do. And that's why it comes across as, this guy really knows what he's talking about. And I guess to a lesser extent, I enjoy it, Toastmasters Room. So I think that is also part of it.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Stefano, for sharing that. Toastmaster Stefano, now we come to another segment in our talk show, which is the rapid fire round. Are you ready for it?
Yes, sir.
Toastmaster Stefano, your favorite historic speech that is very close to your heart?
The favorite historic speech would have been Barack Obama's speech at the Democratic National Convention back in, I think it was 2002. It was a speech that I go back every so often and I read all the different ways that he puts words together, because it made people, it was old school statesmanship. It was a wonderful speech. I still go back and look at it and go, how did he write this? It's fantastic. So that was for me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stefano. Your favorite historic leader that you are inspired by, you take a lot of confidence from, any historic leader?
Historic leader. Wow. I could say Barack Obama again, but I feel like he's not yet historic.
A past leader.
He's a past leader. I like him because he made an attempt to bring people together. He made an attempt to have all of us see the bigger picture. And I think that that's lost on a lot of leaders. Sometimes you just rely on a leader to make decisions and go, but he seemed to often put together the need for us to think bigger, all of us to think bigger, that this is solved by all of us, not one person. And I like that a lot, that it was a not one man's job, but all of our jobs.
Dr. Stefano, do you think, is it because of his education that he was so large-hearted, or because his heart was pure that he could do that as a leader?
I don't think that it's education alone, because many of our politicians have exhaustive education. So I don't think it's education alone, although it may be part of it. You have to, just as I said before, you have to believe. You have to believe the words that you're saying. And I think he did. Maybe over time, reality takes its toll and you don't believe in the great things anymore. But I wouldn't say that it is necessarily pure of heart, as you said, but it is simply believing that good is possible. And that is very powerful if you can believe in that good is possible. I think that is part of what gave him that energy. And so that's what I aspire to myself.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stefano. Your favorite personal speech that you felt, I did a fabulous job delivering this speech, Toastmaster Stefano?
It's one that a number of people heard, but I don't know if many of your listeners has heard, and that was my campaign speech for international director that I gave in 2019 in Denver. And I liked it because I talked a little bit about how I began in Toastmasters and the things that I saw, but then I transitioned to, it's not about me, it's about we. And then proceeded to talk about the future of Toastmasters and a Toastmasters that we would build. And I liked it. I like it still today, because that is how our organization gets better, is we have to acknowledge that It is not the job of an international president or even the board of directors, but all of us working at all levels. That is how we make this organization meet the challenges of 2022, 2032, and 2122 for 100 years more. We must do the work to make it happen. So that's why I really liked that speech a lot.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stefano, for sharing that. A book that you'd like to recommend to our audience, Toastmaster Stefano, a book that is very close to you.
A book that I recently read that I enjoyed was Starting with Why from Simon Sinek. And I liked it a lot because it talked about one of the examples they gave was from Apple, and about how Apple is not necessarily the best company in the world, but those of us that believe in the product and that their products are great and that the design is great will buy anything from Apple. But it's not because we love the products, we love what Apple stands for. It is the why of Apple. And ever since I read that book, I've been trying to figure out the why of Toastmasters. We have pathways, but why? Why is Toastmasters exist? So that, because I think once we determine what that is and we attract people that believe in our why, Toastmasters will never die. But we need to figure out what our why is. Why is our existence important to the world? People will join us and they will stay forever.
Beautiful, Toastmaster Stefano. You've taken a small question and gave us a lot of knowledge and wisdom on that. Toastmaster Stefano, on a light note, what is your favorite food to munch?
Favorite food to munch? Well, I do like pizza for sure. But if you want to talk about munching, tortilla chips. Oh, tortilla chips. I don't know why. Some people like popcorn. I do like popcorn too. But corn tortilla chips, oh man, those are great. Next to that, it would just be sugary candy like sour Skittles and Sour Patch Kids. Oh, I love sour candy. But if I had to pick a munchy candy, it would be tortilla chips, salty tortilla chips with salsa.
Tastes good. And your favorite food? Any food that you like to?
Pizza, 100%. Pizza, thin crust, Neapolitan style. Oh, yes, that is my favorite food for sure.
Any restaurant that you like to recommend? Toastmaster Stefano, we know you're from the Boston area.
Favorite restaurant? Well, now there used to be one in Boston. Now I have to travel to which is it here? Hold on. Why was it? Oh yeah, Providence, Rhode Island. But there's Fleming's Steakhouse, because right next to pizza is a wonderful steak. It's a little pricey, so I don't get to go too often, but I love the service. I love the steak. I love the whole experience. A great bottle of wine. It's a favorite restaurant of mine in Providence, Rhode Island.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stefano. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our District 31?
That I'm thankful to be a part of District 31, to have made so many friends, so many people that support me no matter what. One day I hope to come back and be able to do keynotes for all of you again, just to see you all. It was fun to attend the conference, but District 31 has made me who I am today. I joined Toastmasters because of my wife. She was a good thing that she did. And now I'm the person that I am today because of all of you. So thank you. You've done so much for me.
Thank you, dear Toastmaster Stefano. Thanks a lot for being on our talk show. We wish you all the good luck on your future endeavors, and we wish you well. Thanks a lot for spending some time and talking with us.
It was my pleasure, Toastmaster. Sure.
Thank you, dear Toastmaster Stefano. Dear Toastmasters, this was a fun conversation with our dear Toastmaster Stefano McGhee. If you like our channel, please do like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please mention if you want to see your favorite Toastmasters on our talk show. Please put their name in our comment section and we will make sure to invite them. Please stay safe. Until our next episode, your Public Relations Manager, Veera Sriram, signing off. Bye-bye.